Hey guys, Infidel1258 here. Today I want to talk to you about the leaderboard for the Great Burning, and I want to discuss whether or not there's reasonable basis with which to expect to win something if you were to put in a few DC even now, just to get those quote-unquote raffle tickets. Is it worth it at this point? Is there way too many people that are invested and therefore it's just a throwaway? Let's talk about it, because I think there's still value in this for even smallest sort of contributors. Let's talk about it. Before we do, though, I got a shout out to SPLINTERCOACH.com. SPLINTERCOACH.com is a website that will track your personalized battle history within Splinterlands. That information is going to help you in a couple of ways. It's going to be fun to look at the data, but two, it's going to help you win more. And for $5 a month, you're going to see a lot of entertainment as well as functionality. And you're going to learn things like, I was losing with Kelly a Friendle. Like, I was losing almost all my battles, but something was wrong. I was using her, in a, let's say, an incorrect fashion. I think the main part was that I wasn't properly and often enough using Bakjira in the picture. And I think the speed reduction has really complemented what she already does well. And so Bakjira ends up being this really strong primary tank, and then it lets the deep lurker or the bandit do their work. And with the huge hit point pool, the Murdali Guardian ends up doing what you wanted to, lots of extra heals, plus the armor from Kelia gets repaired every time. And so it was like a recognition of something I was doing wrong due to data. That is available through splintercoach.com, and for 17 cents a day, $5 a month, you're going to have access to that, and I think you're going to enjoy it. So go ahead and check it out, and now let's get into it. So yeah, the Great Burning. We have burned, I think it's 450 million DEC between DEC and DECB, 345 million DEC and 155 million DECB. And if you total that up, let's just do it quickly. So this is how much DEC plus DECB we've burnt so far, for a total of just 500 million. $500 million DEC is gone forever. That's huge. Bringing us down from something like, I think, 5 to 4.5. That's huge. Something like that. It's not the end. It's not we're not done with DEC. It's still, there's still too much of it out there, but this is a great step in the right direction, and it costs us nothing because the team has put forward $150,000 worth of resources that are their own, and that is the payment. That's the cost of this venture. It's nothing out of no skin off our backs, no cost out of our pockets. Literally, the team has put forward the value, and they've created this sync mechanism through which 500 million DC are forever gone and never to come back. So that's great. But now, if we look at the peak D post for the Great Burning, you'll remember that you got 3 points per DC that you burn, and it is different. It's not exactly 3 points that you get. It's 3 points per every DC that you burn as of day 1. And there's actually a reduction all the way down to 2 points in the last day of the 30-day burning window. So it's a bit more complicated than I'm about to reflect. But if you imagine that you're getting 3 points for every one of those DC that I just showed, because most of them were burnt on day 1, most of them were, then most of them are going to receive 3 points for each DC or DCB. So we can go, within reason. I think it's fair to say 10 days have passed. And so it's true that some burnt today are going to get fewer points. But frankly, I think that's a trivial differentiation that we need to draw, because I don't believe that most of these 500 million were burnt today or yesterday or even this week. They really were primarily burnt within the first 48 hours, primarily. And so I think it's reasonable to then go like this, times 3, to calculate how many points are being awarded for this process. And then we know from the peak D post that every 10,000 points that a player earns during the event will provide a chance to receive one of the following items from the prize pool. And these are the items, but we'll talk about those in a minute. So 10,000 points is the division that we need to look at here. So we take the total value and we divide it by 10,000, because that's how many. So this is the total number of points. This is how many points you need to get in order to have one raffle ticket. Let's see how many raffle tickets. 150. Let's call it 150,000 raffle tickets. 150,000 raffle tickets. How many prizes are there? Back to the PT post. We know that there's 3,500 prizes given out. But here's the thing. The ones that are randomly awarded, randomly to those of us who have only bought one raffle ticket, or even 400 raffle tickets, If you're not on the leaderboard, you don't have access to these rewards. Therefore, the only ones I really want to look at is these right here. We got 200, 300, 550, 1050, 2050, 3050, 3075 prizes that are available. 3075 that are available to random participants, meaning each one of these 150,000 raffle tickets has a chance to win one of 3075 prizes. So that means we want to figure out how many raffle tickets do you need to, on average, have to have a strong probability of claiming one of those. If we look at average and we go like this, divided by 375, that's how many prizes there are. That's how many raffle tickets there are. We end up getting, if you have 48 raffle tickets, you're actually mathematically in that window where it seems probable that you have enough that you should claim one of these prizes. And so that's not entirely unreasonable. You know what I mean? So we're talking, let's reverse engineer. If we want to say we want to buy 50 raffle tickets, that means 50 times 10,000, 50 times the DEC cost is roughly 3333, because that's how many DEC translates to 10,000 points. We're talking 166,000 DEC. That's not nothing. Times 0.00078. So the US dollar value is something like $130 at today's price point in order to acquire 48 raffle tickets, which is then going to give you a probability of claiming one of the rewards. So what are the rewards? You got land plots that are in that $50 range. And now these could be legendary land plots. So you're talking 200, 2,000, 3,000. They could be mythic. They could be, everything under the sun. So this could be a crazy payday. But even at the $50 price point, I think you'd be excited. If you got like a common land plot out of this, I think there's reason to say that would be really satisfying, because it's not just about the rewards, right? We'll talk more about this in a minute, but it's not just about these rewards. Alpha pack would be wild. I think they're probably 40, 50 bucks if we quickly pop over to Hive. Alphas are exceedingly rare. Look at that, 68 bucks. Ask is at 85, bid is at 61. So you could liquidate right now for 61. If you just set patiently around that 70 mark, I bet you sell it. So there's another $70 value. Beta packs, I think they're in the more the $30, $40 range. Untamed packs, I think $15, $20, probably $20 range. Nightmare packs, I mean, you buy them brand new for $5 or you buy them on the market for about $4. Rift Watcher packs, similar $5, or maybe you pay a little bit less if you buy them off of a private seller. And then you got Rooney that start pretty much at $650, $700. And so the land plots, the alpha packs, the beta packs, the untames, even the Rooney, in my mind, are very substantial rewards. I'll grant you that 2,000 of the 3,075 rewards available here are going to be moderate, or let's say maybe you might even go so far as to say underwhelming if you got them. But again, it's not just about these rewards. I'm not buying these raffle tickets solely so I can win a nightmare pack, or so I can have a chance at winning a Rift Watcher pack, or even a Rooney, which would be absolutely wild. You buy this because you actually recognize, one, guild power is meaningful. And every DEC you burn into this process is going to translate into DEC that you carry forward in the form of guild power. That's going to be tied to your account, and that's going to form the basis of a sort of an attraction for your account to different guilds, because the more guild power you have, the more you might encourage or help other guilds' buildings, and therefore you then become sort of marketable or desirable from yet another perspective. It's like not only the cards you own, the gladiators you own, the DEC that you have access to, but it's also the guild power you carry with you. And this is going to be a new addition that's going to really transform how people, I guess, continue to distinguish themselves, right? To each one of your accounts is going to be more and more unique as things like guild power end up being like a fingerprint for what you've done here. And so it's not just about the prizes, it's about the guild power, which is going to unlock new guild buildings, going to increase your rewards within guild brawls, going to increase your gladiators that come access to you through merits that you're receiving through guild brawls. That might unlock new value through tournaments, because certain tournaments run on guild gladiators, and also because the new reward summoners actually enable you to utilize gladiators. That means that it's going to open new victory for you within the rank battle experience additionally. So that means SPS, that means, you know, higher and higher ranks, more daily chests, more season chests. So you definitely want guild power. And I think even if all that was offered out of this was guild power, the truth is, if you're in a guild, you're going to burn DC anyways, because you're going to pay dues. And so it's like, again, I think it's been 10 days down, and I think we have reason to, I guess, restate that this is proving to be a thing that, one, you actually have some reasonable chances of winning something. 1 in 50 is what I just said. 1 in 48, 1 in 50 to win one of these prizes from the random window. I think it's going to ultimately land somewhere in that 1 to 60, because there will be more DC burned, but those points are going to be, those DC that are burned from now till the end are going to get fewer and fewer points, and therefore I think it's reasonable to say probably 1 in 60. And so, you know, $130 worth of DC today is actually probably going to put you in that ballpark of likely to get a reward. That doesn't mean mathematically you're promised anything. It's like, it's a likelihood. It's like, that's the average. 1 in 48 will probably get one of these. 1 in 50, 1 in 60 will probably get one of these by the end of it. And again, if that was the only thing to look at, fine, maybe don't do it. But you already pay dues to your guild. So this is a way to pay dues in advance and get 2 things out of it. 1, guild power that you can use to pay the dues in a future dates. 2, the opportunity at that raffle ticket. So again, I think this event was a shining example of how the team can think through innovative ways to, I guess, improve our game and the economy of our game. And I think it's working amazingly well. It's been 9 days, just over 9 days now. And I think we've seen huge success. But I continue to believe that even now, if you had a small amount of DC, even 10,000 or 20,000, if you were already in a guild, I think it makes a lot of sense to look at doing this. Plan it in such a way that you were going to maximize your number of raffle tickets. So if you're going to burn some today, recognize how many rewards you're getting per DC, and calculate how you would end up with 10,000 points or 20,000 equal denominations of 10,000 points, because you want to maximize the number of rewards or number of opportunities at raffle tickets. It would be wild, and some of them out there will win like a Rooney or something crazy simply by putting in 10,000 points, which is 3,300, maybe call it 4,000 DC, because the number of days have gone by already. But 4,000 DC, and someone's going to win a Rooney or something. And I just know it. And you'll see it in Discord, and people will post on Twitter. And so, I don't know, man. Like, again, if that was all it was, if it was just a raffle, if it was just luck, then I get it. You don't pay attention to it. But it's not. The guild power is important too. And again, the guild power is not just important from the guild perspective, but it's important because it unlocks the rank battle achievement, because those gladiators are now playable in rank. So I hope you're taking it seriously. And yeah, thanks so much for your time and attention. Make sure you check out splintercoach.com. Have an amazing day. God bless.